Alright, getting this to you a little later today than I actually intended. I helped my mom build a shed yesterday and it kind of wiped me out. So I slept for about 16 hours. So now I'm getting this to you. I'm gonna get you tomorrow's video a little earlier, so be sure to check it out, look for it. Click the bell. I've been getting a lot of reports of people like, YouTube's not letting me know that you released a video. Just YouTube being stupid, but now let the horror movie marathon begin! Scream. So Scream came out in 1996, directed by Wes Craven, and I feel like I'm starting out on top, because the Scream movies are my yearly tradition. October hits, I watch all the Scream movies. People have their horror movie traditions. Scream is mine. Because Scream is a horror movie, but it's also a celebration of horror movies, and plus, let's face it, I was Randy from Scream when I was in high school, so movie just kind of clicked with me. See, for a while, horror movies, slasher movies, they became supernatural. Michael Myers started out as just a crazy guy with a knife. That's who he was. Then Halloween 2 on, the moment he takes a couple slugs to the eyeballs in Halloween 2, I was like, you're now supernatural. You just kind of lived through that. Jason Voorhees, supernatural. Freddy, supernatural. Ghostface wasn't. Ghostface, it's clear. This is just somebody with a mask who's stalking people and stabbing them. Takes it back to the original Halloween, but cherry on top, it's also a mystery. From the get-go, the movie lets you know that you're supposed to figure out who this killer is. And if you don't get it by then, there's this scene where Sidney Prescott, all her friends, they're all sitting around and they're talking about like, oh, maybe you did it. Are you saying that I killed her? And that's what kept me engaged with Scream from the get-go. And when the sequels were coming out, I was always looking forward to the fact like, who's it gonna be this time? After Scream, it's like other movies wanted to be Scream. Instead of these supernatural killers, you still had movies like that, but there was this whole subgenre of movies like Urban Legend, I Know What You Did Last Summer. All these movies where it was like, no, it's a real person in a costume, but you're supposed to guess who it is. Though I Know What You Did Last Summer kind of went a different way with it upon its execution, but still. And I remember talking with one of my friend's girlfriends, and she was like, yeah, Scream scared the hell out of me. Because I know Jason isn't real. I know Freddy Krueger isn't real. But Scream was just, that's a crazy person in your high school killing people. That shit could happen. It was this crazy world of antitrust and realism. And it's not the only thing that brought Scream down to the level of believability. It being the celebration of horror movies, they talk about horror movies in this movie. They watch Halloween when they're all hanging out at their party, which Scream totally became the 90s high school hangout party movie. Absolutely. But the fact that these horror movies exist in this movie makes it feel more real also. It makes it feel like it doesn't take place in this other world, this fictional movie world. It takes place in your world, the real world, where they watch and enjoy horror movies. These horror movies that you know exist. They're not these fake-ass made-up horror movies that they just throw out there for the sake of trying to avoid copyright. No, they talk about and reference Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Howling. Just made it feel more real. But the fact that it has so much energy and has so much fun with its premise, that's what keeps me coming back. There are a lot of mysteries that are great movies, but once you know the answer, once you get to the end, once you know the answer to the mystery, you're like, all right, well, that was kind of the thing it was all riding on, and now I know, and now I don't really feel like I have to see the movie 100 times. Scream is so much 90s movie fun. I've watched the movie. Of all the movies I'm probably going to review in the course of this month, Scream is the one I have seen the most. Hands down. It's a blast, it's fun, it's gory, it's creepy in parts. We gotta talk about Neve Campbell. Neve Campbell is the lead in Scream. And when I think of charismatic actors that completely carry a horror movie or a horror movie franchise, Neve Campbell she is the standard. Jamie Lee Curtis was the Scream Queen back in the day, but Neve Campbell was the Scream Queen, quite literally, of the 90s. She's clever, witty, vulnerable, fights back, fighting back against Ghostface. Ghostface in Scream is a bit of a clod. Let's face it. Always slashing at people and the person moves and is like, nope, still going, hit the door. Running after someone when they reach for the fridge. It's not like Ghostface is like, hey, let me duck under the freezer door that's clearly gonna hit me in the face. Don't! You would swear Ghostface doesn't actually want to kill somebody in such a common way as a knife. Maybe Ghostface is just waiting for Tatum to crawl through the garage door so he can like, hey, that's way more interesting than a knife. Thank goodness I let her dodge my swings and took all those hits, because otherwise she would have died in a very stupid fashion. That's mainly, if I have a gripe about Scream, it's that Ghostface is just a bit of an idiot. No matter who Ghostface is, it's like Ghostface doesn't know how to fight, actually. And also, I gotta say, Scream has, bar none, some of the best pacing I have seen in a horror movie, period. Scream is almost 2 hours long, feels like an hour and a half max. It has excellent pacing, superb energy, it keeps that momentum going all the way to the end of the movie. If you haven't seen Scream by now, I'm baffled. It's a horror movie with comedy, but it's comedy because of some of the cynicism of characters, some of the ironic things some characters say, but it feels like real interaction. And that's the best kind of comedy in a movie like this. It's comedy that doesn't make the movie a comedy, but there's a certain energy that's interjected into it that makes it just a little more fun, a little more enjoyable. It's a must for horror movie fans. This movie was made for horror movie fans. Scream absolutely is awesome-tacular. So Scream, the original Scream, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite Halloween tradition? You know, that movie where you're like, October, gotta watch this movie. Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.